Hi friends. Welcome to another round of this video lecture of this present module. We shall now define what is a field. This field is entirely different from the field theory or any other things that we would have heard or we would have studied. This field is a term that is borrowed from mathematics. So, a commutative ring with unity in which every non-zero element possesses their multiplicative inverses is known as field. Let me repeat again. A commutative ring with unity in which every non-zero element possesses their multiplicative inverse is referred to as field. Uh, Typical example is F is a field over addition and multiplication. So F comma plus comma dot is a field. F over addition is an abelian group. That is a field. Then similarly, multiplication distributes over addition from the left and also to the right. So that is also a field. So typical examples: set of rational numbers q over plus and dot is a field. Set of real numbers over addition and multiplication is a field. Set of complex numbers over addition and multiplication are examples of fields. Okay. So F is a field. If F is a field, that is, if F over addition and multiplication is a field, then F contains at least two elements, zero element and unit element. That is, additive element and multiplicative identity elements are also embedded in it along with at least two elements. So that's the primary condition that is imposed on a field. This term is taken from mathematics, abstract algebra or modern algebra. So we shall solve two problems based on this. Consider the set C comma plus comma dot. So C is the set of complex numbers. So consider the set C defined over addition and multiplication, where C is the set of complex numbers and plus and dot are ordinary addition and multiplication operations. Show that C comma plus comma dot is a ring. Okay, so we shall solve this now. Proof is very simple, but I request you to give more attention so that we can easily understand and get good marks in our internals and in the final examination. So first property that must be satisfied by C is that it should satisfy the closure property, closure, C-L-O-S-U-R-E, closure property for both addition and multiplication. So for any two complex numbers, Z1 comma Z2 belonging to C, Z1 plus Z2 belongs to C. So if Z1 is a complex number and Z2 is a complex number, obviously the addition of Z1 and Z2 would be a complex number. So Z1 plus Z2 would belong to C. And similarly, Z1 into Z2 also will belong to C. So let me take Z1 is equal to A1 plus IB1, Z2 is equal to A2 plus IB2. Or I can take Z1 is equal to A1 plus JB1 and Z2 is equal to A2 plus JB2 also I can take. Here A1, B1, A2, B2 are real numbers and J is equal to square root of minus 1. So C is equal to X, where X is equal to A plus IB, such that A comma B belongs to R and I is equal to root of minus 1. This is the definition of the complex number set, which we had discussed in the previous videos also. So that's why Z1 plus Z2 is equal to A1 plus I2 plus I into B1 plus B2 also belonging to C, as A1 plus A2 individually and B1 plus B2 individually are real numbers. When I write A plus I into B, then it's a complex number. Remember this definition, very important. Okay. Also, if I multiply Z1 and Z2, that is equal to A1 plus IB1 into A2 plus IB1, and I squared is equal to minus 1. Please remember. So I get A1 A2 minus B1 B2 plus I into A1 B2 plus A2 B1 after multiplying Z1 and Z2. You multiply A1 plus IB1 with A2 plus IB2, which are nothing but Z1 into Z2. The final product has been written here, which is equal to A1 A2 minus B1 B2 plus I into A1 B2 plus A2 B1, which also belongs to C. A1 A2 minus B1 B2 belongs to the real number set R. A1 B2 plus A2 B1 belongs to R. Right? So that's why this one plus I into this belongs to complex numbers, because A individually, if Z is equal to A plus IB, A and B individually are real numbers, but A plus I into B means then it becomes a complex number. Now associative property for Z1, Z2, Z3 all belonging to C, I have z1 plus of z2 plus z3 is equal to z1 z2 whole plus z3. So and next z1 into z2 z3 is equal to whole of z1 z2 with z3. So here addition and multiplication are associative compositions on C. So associative property is easily satisfied. Then talking about the commutative property, yeah, complex number multiplication is commutative, complex number addition is commutative, so also is multiplication. So z1 plus z2 is equal to z2 plus z1, and z1 into z2 is equal to z2 into z1 for z1 z2 belonging to C. So that's why plus and dot are commutative compositions on C. Next, talking about the distributive property, say for z1 comma z2 comma z3 belonging to C, I have z1 dot of z2 plus z3 is equal to z1 into z2 plus z1 z3. Next, z1 plus z2 whole multiplied by z3 is equal to z1 z3 plus z2 z3. So here the dot distributes over addition from left and also from right. Then talking about the existence of identity. So for z is equal to a plus ib belonging to C, there exists 0 plus 0 into I belonging to C such that a plus ib plus 0 plus 0I is equal to a plus 0 plus b plus 0 into I, which is equal to a plus ib itself. So 0 plus 0 into I, which is exactly 0, is the additive identity of C. So for a complex number, 0 is the identity element. 0 can be written as 0 plus 0I, right? So that's why 0 itself is the additive identity element of complex set C. Now, there exists 1 plus 0I such that a plus ib into 1 plus 0I is equal to a into 1 minus b into 0 plus b into I plus a into 0 whole into I is equal to a plus bi. There exists 1 plus 0I. 1 plus 0I is one number. Let me show it. I think otherwise there will become a confusion. I should put a bracket here. There exists 1 plus 0I such that a plus ib into 1 plus 0I is equal to, now multiply this as if it is a polynomial multiplication, such that a into 1 minus b into 0 plus b into I plus a into 0 whole into I is equal to a plus bi itself. You may ask, how did this minus b come here? I into I is how much? So let me multiply. So I get a into 1 plus a into 0 into I plus ib minus I squared into b into 0. So I squared is equal to 1. Sorry, plus I squared into b into 0. So I squared is equal to minus 1. So that's why this minus sign comes here. ei into b multiplied with 0 into I becomes I squared into b into 0, which is equal to minus which is equal to b into minus 1 or minus b into 0, because I squared is equal to minus 1. Let me write the reason here. Because I squared is equal to minus 1, which gives me a plus bi itself. So hence 1 is the multiplicative identity element of C. Okay. Now existence of inverse. So for z is equal to a plus ib, let me show it here. For z is equal to a plus ib, I put the bracket, there exists C plus id belonging to complex number C such that a plus ib into C plus id is equal to 1 plus 0I. So there exists another complex number which can be put in the form of C plus id such that when C plus id is multiplied with a plus ib, I get 1 or 1 plus 0I. Then multiply these two terms multiply these two complex numbers, then a dot c minus b dot c, b dot d is equal to 1, and a dot d plus b dot c is equal to 0. Now, solving, I get c is equal to a by a squared plus b squared, and d is equal to minus b by a squared plus b squared, where c comma d belongs to R, and c plus id belongs to C. And C plus ID is given by a squared by a squared plus b squared minus I into b by b squared, a squared plus b squared. Okay. I need to solve this. So I call this equation 1, call this equation 2. Okay. Solve simultaneously. So if I solve these two simultaneously, I get C is equal to a by a squared plus b squared, d is equal to minus b by a squared plus b squared. So here C and D are individually real numbers. So C comma D belongs to R, and C plus ID in toto belongs to the complex number C. So that's why C plus ID is equal to a by a squared plus b squared minus I into b by a squared plus b squared. So C comma plus comma dot is a field. Okay. Now we shall solve a second problem. And then wind up this video. After that, in the next video, we shall go for vector spaces, which is the main heart and soul of this module. But these are all based upon these rings, fields, and groups. Without ring groups, without rings, without a field concept, vector space doesn't exist. There is another concept called modules, but that is not needed. So all these four are important for understanding vector spaces and hence linear algebra. Where I am? Yeah, now coming to the second problem. Show that f comma plus comma dot is a field where f is a set of all rational numbers and plus and dot are ordinary addition and multiplication operators. I should show that f is a field over addition and subtraction, addition and multiplication, where f is a set of all rational numbers and plus and dot are ordinary addition and multiplication operators. So f is a given set of rational numbers and plus and dot are ordinary addition and multiplication. That's what he has given in the data. Then I have to prove the closure property for addition and multiplication. So closure property states that for a comma b belonging to f, a plus b also belongs to f, right? And a dot b also belongs to f. So f is closed with respect to addition and multiplication. Next, I have to prove the associative property. Please note, all these four properties must exist. All these properties must be satisfied in order to tell that f is a field. If either one property is not satisfied, or if all properties are not satisfied, then it is not a field. ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಪ್ರೂವ್ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು, ಆವಾಗಲೇ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ಕರೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಇಲ್ಲೋದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿನೂ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್ನೂ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅನರ್ಹ. So associative property for a comma b comma c belonging to f, I have a plus of b plus c is equal to a plus of b plus c, and a dot of b dot c whole is equal to a dot b whole dot c. So here plus and dot are associative operations on f. Then talking about the commutative property. So for a comma b comma c belonging to f, I have a plus b is equal to b plus a, and a dot b is equal to b dot a. So plus and dot are commutative on f also. Then talking about the distributive property. So for a comma b comma c belonging to f, I have a dot of b plus c is equal to a dot b plus a dot c, and a plus of b whole multiplied with c is equal to a dot c plus b dot c. So here the dot distributes over addition from left and also from right. That is the multiplication distributes over addition from left and also from right. So fourth property is also satisfied. Now I have to check for the existence of the identity element and the existence of the inverse element. So for a belonging to f, there exists 0 belonging to f such that a plus 0 is equal to a, which is equal to 0 plus a. Hence 0 is the additive identity element of f. Then there exists 1 belonging to f such that a dot 1 is equal to 1 dot a, which is equal to a. So 1 is the multiplicative identity element of f. So fifth property is also satisfied. Now coming to the sixth property, existence of inverse. So for a belonging to f, there exists B belonging to F such that A plus B is equal to 0, which is equal to B plus A also. Or I can write B is equal to minus A. So B is known as the additive inverse of A. Now, additive inverse is over. I have to check for the multiplicative inverse. Now, for C belonging to F, such that C is not equal to 0, I have A dot C is equal to 1, which is equal to C dot A. Or C is equal to 1 by A. So C is known as the multiplicative inverse of A. Or F comma plus comma dot is a field. So all there exists the commutative closure property, associative property, commutative property, identity element existence is there, existence of inverse is there. So all the 6 properties are satisfied, which means that F is a field over addition and multiplication. So F here is a set of rational numbers. So F, which is corresponds to a set of rational numbers, is a pakka field. Pakka field ಅಂದ್ರೆ exact field over addition and multiplication. So F comma plus comma dot is a field. Thank you. We shall continue in the next video.